Om sarvesham svastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. One day soon, we will go through the meaning of this very long mantra. But first, you will remember that last time we talked about the meanings of letters such as A, I. But what we forgot was the meaning of the letter E. Yes? So, Tripura Sundari has drawn the letter E for you. I don't know if you can see this, sort of, but it looks upside down on my screen. I don't know if you can see it. We will send it also to you later. And the meanings of the letter E are so many, but I will just summarize a few of them. One of the meanings is Maya. Maya means magic or also illusion. For example, Devikaji, when you walk in the evening and you see something on the ground, and it might be a rope, but it could also be a snake. And you're not quite sure, is it a rope or is it a snake? Then this is called Maya, when you're not quite sure. And similarly, in daily life, when we are confused about things, when we are not sure what the truth is about something, is someone really nice, or are they only pretending to be nice? This is also called Maya. Similarly, when we think we are something special, there are many people who think that they are extremely special, and they forget that there are 7 billion other humans. Yes? But they think I am extremely special. There's nobody like me in this world. I am unique. If only the rest of the world knew, right? This is also called Maya, delusion. Thinking something to be what it isn't is Maya. Ma means not. Ya means that which is. Maya therefore means that which isn't, which you only think it is. Yes? I'll give you one example. I'm sure that many of you have heard of the word Kundalini. Kundalini is an energy in the body, in the subtle body. When we meditate for a long time, something like many years of meditation, slowly we can feel this energy. But very often, my dears, people meditate for a week and they think they know Kundalini energy. And they say, oh, I can feel that. Oh, yes. And they make all kind of strange movements. You know, I've seen very funny things happening. And then they say, oh, this is my Kundalini. And I can feel it at the bottom of my spine. And, you know, and all kinds of strange things. That is called Maya. That's a delusion. Because you know what's really going on? They're just having indigestion. They just have a lot of air in the body. And that's what they're really feeling, because when they sit for a long time and they're not used to sitting for a long time, that's what you feel. And because you've read about Kundalini, you think, oh, I'm so special. And that's the second Maya, because you think that, I am almost like the Buddha. I'm very soon going to be flying through the air. You see, that's the next Maya. You understand? And this is the meaning of the Sanskrit vowel E. It means Maya. It means delusion, confusion. Then another meaning is Lakshmi. And just before, one of the children asked the meaning of their name, Mahalakshmi. Lakshmi means beauty, splendor, prosperity, wealth. It is that which our dearly beloved friend Jamin always wants. He wants Lakshmi. He wants to be rich, or at least in the past, that was his primary goal. So to become a billionaire, they used to tell me that by the age of 30, they will be billionaires. No, not millionaires, billionaires with a B, right? So I'm just joking. So that is called Lakshmi. And in Hindu and Buddhist tradition, there is a goddess called Lakshmi. But people, they sometimes think that the only function of that goddess is to give them money. So that's sort of a little confusion. No, no, no. Lakshmi first makes you beautiful inside. She makes you rich inside, in your heart. She makes you prosperous in your mind. So we say in Hindu and Buddhist tradition, we say that someone who has Lakshmi inside them, they like to keep their house clean and tidy. They like things to be orderly, to be proper, to have a lot of beauty, to have a lot of harmony, aesthetics in their house. Everything should be at the right place, should always be cleaned. And then we say in Hindu tradition that when you have that beauty inside you, that richness and wealth inside you, then slowly, 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 it also starts to come outside. And I can see the connection. Someone who's very beautiful inside, who's very orderly, very mindful, very aware, who doesn't have a mess inside, slowly, slowly begins to have structure outside as well. They know how to make a job application look beautiful, orderly, not everything messy and upside down. They know how to dress properly. They know how to move beautifully, harmoniously. You can always see when people had dance lessons in their youth, they move differently. People who have done yoga for a long time, they move differently. They don't move like, right? So you can see that in people. So now look at the difference. You have this beauty inside you. You have this clarity inside you. And then you make a job application outside. And that job application looks beautiful. It's already so beautiful that the person who receives the job application, they just feel, oh, wow, it is done so nicely. So they place it on top of the pile of job applications, you understand? Because they just enjoy looking at it. And then they call you, and because you have so much Lakshmi inside you, your voice is already rich and splendorous. You don't take the phone and say, yeah, hello. No, I don't got any time now, in your Cockney accent, right? And then, no, but they can hear that there is Lakshmi in you. And then they invite you for the job application. And you've cleaned your glasses not with your fingers, but, you know, with actual, you know, some actual cleaning for glasses, and you've shaved properly. Of course, I wouldn't go to a job application like this. I know you've shaved properly. You know, you've had a haircut. My hair is almost gone, so there's no point, but I could, you know, I could still shave it a little bit, and you don't have dirty clothes, you don't smell, you've taken a bath, you know, and you go properly to the job application. This is all part of Lakshmi, my dears. It's all part of Lakshmi. And then you sit there, and you don't sit there like, you know, like you don't slump into your chair. You know, at the job application, you actually sit down gently. And people can see that, really, they can see it. Even if they don't know it consciously, they can see that you have Lakshmi in you, that there is a sense of aesthetics, a sense of beauty in you. You don't just slump into your chair, and you don't stink of cigarettes, you know, so there is some aesthetic beauty there. And I'm not saying that you will always get a job, but my dears, if you do this 15, 20 times, surely you will be the one who gets the job, no? Isn't that obvious? That's called Lakshmi. Bringing the inner Lakshmi outside is a natural process, but you first need to have her inside. If you have a mess inside of you, Lakshmi doesn't have hatred. Lakshmi hates nobody. Lakshmi loves everyone. She has maitri for everyone. If you have a lot of hatred and negativity inside you, if your face looks like the face of Lord Voldemort, I can assure you that is not Lakshmi, all right? If people can see on your face that you have a lot of hatred, that you have a lot of negativity, they're not going to give you jobs. Of course, sometimes, once in a while, also Lord Voldemort will get a job, of course, right? And we're happy for that, right? We congratulate him. He got a job, it's great, it's wonderful. But I can tell you, if you radiate Lakshmi from inside, true Lakshmi, the inner Lakshmi, beauty in your heart, love for all beings. If you radiate that truly, genuinely, not faking it to make it, no, truly having Lakshmi, then suddenly outside you will also have Lakshmi, really. That is what our scriptures say. First, have Lakshmi inside, and then she comes outside. Don't go to a temple and say, give me money, give me wealth. That's not going to work. You can burn 1,000 candles in that temple, but I can assure you nothing will happen if you don't have Lakshmi inside you. Yes? All right. The next meaning of the word E is related. It is kala. Kala means art. There are 64 arts in Hindu tradition. When I say Hindu, by the way, I always mean Buddhist and Jain as well, because these three traditions are absolutely linked together. They cannot be separated. So in the Buddhist, there is also the 64 arts. It is also there among the Jains. So please, I just want you to remember this. When I say Hindu, I always mean all the traditions, all right? So dharma, this is the word, is dharma. There are 64 arts, and the first art is the art of singing. How to sing. I always recommend people, if you want to improve your singing capacity, start with Indian singing. It is different from ordinary singing. There is some magic in it, in Indian music. The ragas are created in such a way that there is some magic. In people who are very sad, There are certain musical notes that make you happy. It is like a magic. Just try it. It is not imagination. The ancient Indians, they knew things which people don't know anymore today. There are ragas that make you melancholic. Melancholic means that suddenly you begin to remember your old friends with whom you lost touch. Just by listening to the raga. Raga means a tone, a certain sound. There are ragas that make you courageous. They give you courage, really. And we have stories in India where a king is surrounded by attackers and the king has only a few hundred soldiers left and the attackers are in the thousands, and the soldiers and the king, they've lost all hope. And then someone comes along and says, I will now play the raga, the tune that will give you courage. And he plays the tune, and the king's mind, and also the others' mind, is filled with courage out of nowhere. They gain courage and they say, you know what? Damn this fear. Damn this weakness in our hearts. Now we are full of courage. And suddenly they go out and they storm this conflict and they win. So we have stories like this. Of course, you can ask the question, are these stories always true? It doesn't matter if they're true or not. It really doesn't matter. Why? We still have the raga. You can listen to it and you will feel that it gives you courage. Really, it does. So if you want to learn how to sing, Jamin knows a lady, she's a Carnatic singer. She knows a lady in India who introduces traditional Indian singing online. So if you like, Jamin can give you her WhatsApp and you can try it. And it is shameful how not expensive it is. She is so kind. She really makes it affordable. It is something like, it's incredible. When I heard it, I felt ashamed because she should charge more for that. All right. So this is just a suggestion for you. She has nothing to do with us. I'm not making hidden advertisement for Sarvamangala here. It is really a different lady. And it's something you might really enjoy. This is the meaning of kala. Kala means the art. Now, another meaning of E is shanti. Shanti means peace. At the end of every mantra, we say, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. So another meaning of E, the syllable E, is peace, Shanti. Is there anything in life, my dears, better than Shanti? Roger Federer, the famous Swiss tennis player, may he live forever, I always say. May he play tennis forever, because then Switzerland will be famous forever. He's now 40, so we'll see how that works out. But Roger Federer, there's an interview where they ask him, what do you do in the breaks between the sets when you play tennis? We always see you're sitting on your bench, you first drink some water, or these, whatever they drink. You always drink some water, and then you're sitting on your bench, and somehow he's doing something, So of course, they ask this because they want to know, is he chanting Hare Krishna, or is he chanting Shalom Aleichem, or everyone wants to know, what is he doing? Because then you can promote yourself with that, right? And perhaps he's chanting something, Om Namah Shivaya, we don't know. So they wanted to know, what are you doing when you sit on your bench? And you know what Roger Federer said? He said, this is my secret. I don't want to tell you. So they said, please, come on, tell us, please tell us. And he said, all right. He said, I do a visualization exercise that brings me peace, shanti. He said, I visualize an ocean, just an ocean, a blue ocean, which has no limit, a blue ocean. And I visualize this, and this brings peace in my heart. I totally ignore the audience at Wimbledon. I totally ignore the audience at the US Open. All I do is I visualize an ocean. And when I heard that, I said, wow, you know why? Now you don't know why. This exercise is in our Hindu scriptures. It really is there in the scriptures. And when I heard this, I said, no, this is crazy. Now, I don't think that Roger Federer had this from a Hindu teacher. I don't think so. I don't think he had this from a Hindu teacher or from the scriptures. I don't think so. He must have got it from either from someone else. You know, there are many modern people who give such teachings, or who knows, he might have just invented it himself. I don't know. I don't think he had it from the Hindu scriptures. But it doesn't matter, my dears. Well, it's there in our scriptures as well. So, visualizing an ocean is so powerful. Have you ever done that? A great saint called Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also advised people to do this. He said, if you're agitated, if you are restless, just imagine the ocean. Amazing, isn't it? Roger Federer said it. Ramakrishna said it. The ancient Hindu scriptures said it. Please do it, okay? When you feel restless, just imagine an ocean. So powerful, it's amazing. That's the meaning of shanti, peace. Then another meaning of E is rati. Rati is love, but not just ordinary love. It is the kind of love which Milan would like to have. The love in a relationship with a lady, or a lady's love for a man. That is called rati. We could translate it as erotic love, maybe, but it is not just erotic. It is this sense of, you know, this when you are in love. It is what I hope Ayumu had when he met Yuka. And Yuka when she met Ayumu, I hope. I don't know. It is what anyone has who has freshly fallen in love. That is called rati. And rati in Hindu, Buddhist, Jain legends is the wife of Kama. Kama is the god of love. And his wife is Rati. And the god of love has a bow and arrow. This is like in the Greek legends where Cupid or Eros has a bow and arrow, and when you fall in love, he goes, pew, and he shoots you right in the heart. And similarly, Kama and his wife Rati, they also have a bow and arrow, and they shoot you right in the heart when you fall in love. So then, another meaning of E is fame, kirti. Who doesn't want to be famous, right? It is one of the great aspirations of the youth today. All the youth today love the idea that their Facebook post will go viral. that their Instagram likes will become thousands and thousands, that their YouTube videos are watched by millions, right? This is the dream of every youth today, whether they admit it or not. It is the truth. So this is called kirti, to be famous. And I'll tell you a little story here. This is a true story. Many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I opened a Facebook page called Science and Hindu Dharma, because I love science. I know that for many of you, I look like this rambling ancient Sanskrit scholar who is going on about things that can't be proven, but that's not true. I actually like science, and I did my doctoral studies in science in this philosophy of science, all right? So that I'm not a scientist. That means I'm not going to inject you with something to see if COVID will go away. Don't worry. But I do understand a little bit about science. So I opened a page called Science and Hindu Dharma in order to share insights from science that are well aligned with insights from Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, our ancient traditions. And I got about 40, 50 likes, you know, as it goes. And then it is interesting. The Indian Prime Minister, I don't know if he was Prime Minister already. I think so. He had just become Prime Minister, something like that. He went on a trip to America and he met with Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. And I was watching this live because I thought it was interesting to watch. And the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, tells him a very strange story. He tells him that before Facebook was successful, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, you know, this guy, this phone was gifted to me by Jamin, I have to say. I'm very grateful for that. He gave me an iPhone. That's really nice of him. So the founder of Apple told Mark Zuckerberg to go to India to a temple of Hanuman, the ancient Indian god of the wind, the son of the god of the wind, and that this temple would change his life. And I was hearing that live. What? And then Zuckerberg says, and I went there. He really did. He took off time and he went to India with a backpack and went to a temple in Nainital. This is in North India. And he says, it was really true. I came back and I had a different understanding of how people connect, of how humans connect. So he really experienced India for the first time. And you see, those of you who have never been to India, you don't understand what India is. India is a land of magic. It is a land where you experience what it means to love, what it means to be affectionate, what it means when humans come together, and even though there are hundreds and thousands of them, they manage to create something amazingly beautiful. You experience this only in India, where externally there are so many people. It seems there is no structure, but the result is always amazing. It is always incredibly profound. It is always incredibly deep. It is the land where meditation was born. It is the land where the insights into consciousness were born. It is the land where yoga was discovered. It is the land of where a lot of science, not all science, a lot of science was discovered. So Mark Zuckerberg experienced India when he went to this temple. And he told the Indian Prime Minister, I think he was Prime Minister, please don't misquote me on this one. I think he was. So in any case, he tells him, it really changed me. And it also changed the founder of Apple. So you know what I did? I instantly Googled this. I thought this must be some silly fairy tale he's telling this prime minister, you know, to make him happy. I instantly Googled this. And then I found that Steve Jobs really went to a temple in Nainital, which was the temple where a saint lived. And he really came back from there and then founded Apple. And it's really true that Zuckerberg went to this temple. So you know what I did? I made a little post with a photo of that temple. I put it into my little Facebook group, which was, you know, I had 50 likes or something, 50 followers or whatever. I put it there and I put the exact thing that Zuckerberg had told the prime minister. I typed it out because I could scroll back. I typed it out quite quickly because I'm quite a fast typist, isn't it? I typed it out and then I put it on my Facebook that the Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, says, I went to this temple and then I experienced humanity differently and Facebook became successful. And now, you know what happened? My post went viral because I was the first person on Facebook to put this on Facebook. Now, I didn't do this in my name, so unfortunately, I'm not yet famous, but my page became famous. Do you know how many likes my post got? If I tell you this, Jamin will cringe with jealousy and envy. Millen will not be able to take it because that's the only thing they ever wanted, right? Was fame. I got more than 1 million likes. It's true. You can scroll back in Science and Hindu Dharma. I got more than 1 million likes for that post. And then you won't believe this. So now, of course, not every post goes viral, right? That would be nice. Then I really would be famous, but unfortunately I'm not. So, but a few months later, I discovered there was a scientist, a quantum physicist called Heisenberg, and he is known for the Heisenberg uncertainty. Now, I'm not going to bore you with this. Anyway, I made a post with what he said about the Upanishads, the ancient Hindu scriptures, the ancient Vedantic scriptures, and I put a really nice photo of Krishna. And that post got even more likes than the first one. You won't believe this. The post had something like 3.3 or something million likes. So I don't know if I ever told this to Jamin and Millen, but if they're hearing it, I'm sure they're cringing. So you see, this is called kirti. This is called fame. So like this, this Facebook page had some great fame for a while. So, but as things are nowadays, well, after that, it's no longer that famous. So that's the nature of things. You just have to accept that. Yeah. That's called kirti, yeah, fame. So kirti is another meaning of E, all right? And then the last meaning of E that I want to share here is Tripura Sundari. Tripura Sundari means the beauty of all the three worlds, the beauty of the universe. In some sense, we could translate it as Miss Universe. I'm just joking. It means the most beautiful in all the worlds. And this is the name of a goddess in Hindu tradition. It is the goddess of beauty, wisdom, liberation. And it is my favorite goddess, actually. She represents the infinite energy that brings about all beauty, that brings about all power, all good things, all gentleness, all excellence. Anything that is wonderful is brought about by this goddess, Tripura Sundari. She is also called Raja Rajeshwari. Some of you might know her under that name. So E is another meaning of Tripura Sundari. These are 5 meanings or 6 meanings I have shared here. All right. Now, last time we talked about sandhi. Sandhi is when two vowels come together, they turn into something else. I don't know how many people were present. My instinct is that not everyone was present. So I will just repeat a few of the things I said. When the vowel a is followed by the vowel a, both merge into one. Ah, that's quite logical, right? Ah. So for instance, when you have the word yoga, followed by the word anga. Anga means a limb, like an arm. This is a limb, anga, a limb. When you have the word yoga, followed by anga, they merge together, yoganga. Yes? This is always the case in Sanskrit. All right? Always. When you have, for instance, the word vriksha, which means tree, this is a little vriksha here, and you have the word asana. Asana means a posture or a seat. Vriksha asana, vrikshasana, a long a. So the short a of vriksha and the long a in asana merge together to become vrikshasana. All those among you who practice yoga will know about this. There are so many asanas. Shava plus asana. Shava is a corpse. It is that which all of you, my dearly beloved, will become one day, including me, probably. But some people say I won't, that I am unique among the 7 billion, and I will be the one person who won't be a shava one day, a corpse, but I'm not sure that's true. But in any case, shava plus asana, shavasana. You understand? A plus a. Similarly, when an a is followed by an e, they become a together. For example, the word yoga followed by the word Indra. Indra is the king of the gods, but Indra sometimes is used also just in the sense of king, someone who is a lord. So then you have yoga plus Indra, yogendra. Veera means a hero, plus Indra, the lord of the heroes, the king of the heroes, Virendra. Yeah, it's quite simple. Deva plus Indra, Devendra. These are quite simple things, but you have to remember them. This is the point now about Sanskrit, my dears, that, you know, so far, I've always been joking and making it fun and enthusiastic and all that. But my dears, you also have to learn these things. I'm not just telling you that yoga plus Indra becomes yogendra, and then I will tell you again next time. You have to remember this now, all right? That's like when you went to school as children, when the teacher told you that 5 plus 6 is 11, I think, right? It's 11. When the teacher told you that, you actually had to remember that, yeah? He couldn't tell you again every time. So in the same way, when I'm telling you yoga plus Indra, a plus e become a, you have to remember this, all right? Yogendra. And it's absolutely fine that you can't always attend, and you don't always have to watch all the sessions, but we summarize each session afterwards and we send that to you. So you could look at the summary and you could learn what was in the summary. Because otherwise, at some point, if 3-4 sessions later, I can assure you, you won't remember and you won't be able to go along with what we're doing here. And then the result is that you feel frustrated. I don't understand what he's talking about. But that's because you didn't attend. That's why you don't understand what he's talking about. All right? So please, understand this. This is a class. I consciously do it, you know, in an interesting way, where I give you very detailed meanings so that you learn many other things. But this is a Sanskrit class. Don't worry. In a few months, you will know some very basic Sanskrit grammar. I'm not going to go on just telling stories forever, all right? So then the new sandhi, I also mentioned at the end of the last class, was a plus u, become o. So shuddha means pure, udaka means water, shuddha udaka, shuddhodaka. The father of the Buddha was called Shuddhodana. So Shuddha Udana. Udana also means water. So it meant that in his country where he reigned as king, the water was pure. So he called himself Shuddhodana. And next time I will talk about the meanings of the vowel U, and I will also show you how it is written. Another example, jnana means knowledge. Like the Greek word gnosis is related to jnana, gnosis. Gnostic, some of you might have heard, agnostic. I know many people who are agnostics. That means they are ajnanis in Sanskrit. It's quite funny actually. Agnostic, gnostic, jnana, right? They're related with each other. So now the word jnana means knowledge and uha means a doubt. To have a doubt about knowledge, about jnana, jnana plus uha, a plus u, o. Jnana, uha, jnanoha. All right? Puruṣa, uttama, puruṣottama. Yes? Atma, uha. Atma means self. Like the Greek word auto, like in automobile, something that moves by itself is an automobile. The Greek word auto comes or is related to Sanskrit atma. Atma is the self or oneself, and uha means doubt. I know many people who have a lot of self-doubts. They doubt themselves. Atma, uha, atmoha, all right? Atmoha. I will send all this to you, but you have to remember this, yeah? You have to remember this. So, ūrmi. Ūrmi means a wave, like a wave in the water. Jala means water. Jala, ūrmi, a wave in the water. Jala ūrmi, jalormi. Yes? Devika means a little goddess. And a little goddess that emanates waves of energy, for example, would be Devikormi, the waves of Devika. Right? So if Devika has a lot of impact in British society through her activities, then we will say the wave of Devika has spread all across the UK. So in Sanskrit, we will say Devikormi prasrita UK deshe, right? So Devikormi, you understand? Devika followed by ūrmi, Devikormi. Now, this is strange for those who have not known anything about, you know, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Bengali, all these words. Yuka is a Japanese word, but yuka also exists in Sanskrit. Yuka means something that is very small, is yuka. Now, if you want to say a tiny wave, yuka ūrmi becomes yukormi. Yukormi. So Devika, if you have only a tiny impact upon British society, We will not say Devi kormi, we will say Devika you kormi. All right? The tiny wave of Devika. I'm just joking here, but you can play a lot with words, right? You can use all your names. Radhika, there is a Radhika here. If you want to say the wave of Radhika, Radhika plus ūrmi, Radhikormi. Yeah. Hima means snow, or yeah, it means snow or ice. That doesn't make so much sense. A wave of snow doesn't make so much sense, right? But supposing if we're a little creative, those of you who have gone snowboarding, they ride the snow like upon waves, isn't it? So we could say hima plus ūrmi, himormi. Yeah. So in this way, you can practice and play. Divya means divine. A divine wave. Why not? Divyormi. All right? So you need to practice these things. Nitya means eternal. An eternal wave. Nityormi. An eternal wave. Shailaja is the daughter of the mountain. Which mountain? The Himalaya. Who is the daughter of the mountain? Parvati. Parvata also means mountain. So Shailaja has the same meaning as Parvati, the daughter of the Himalaya. And the wave of Shailaja is Shailajormi. All right? Renugormi, Padmormi. I'm just giving you an example. Then we have Mahendra Bhai. Mahendra Bhai has a lot of political convictions and insights. So imagine all of Mahendra Bhai's political convictions are spread across British society. Then we would say a wave of Mahendra has spread across the UK. That would be Mahendrormi, all right? The wave of Mahendra. So we will finish with one new sandhi that you need to learn for next time. And this is quite simple. Quite simple. You already know that an a followed by an a becomes a, right? Yoga, anga, yoganga. Now logically, my dears, what do you think an e followed by another e becomes? It's very simple. It becomes a long e. So if you have the Sanskrit word Agni, Agni means fire, and Agni followed by the word Isha. Isha means the Lord of fire. Agni followed by Isha, Agnisha, long E. Is so simple. By the way, the word Agni is related to the Latin word ignis, which means fire, and it is still there in the English word ignite. To ignite something means to make it on fire, to put it on fire. Therefore, ignite is directly related to the Sanskrit word Agni. Yes? So now we still have 7 minutes. Please, everyone, you can ask questions. I will send you the new sandhi. E plus E becomes E, and then logically, U plus U becomes U, right? It's very simple. I'll also send you that, all right? So you have to learn these till next time. We will have a 2-week break. So now please ask questions.
So you said Agni plus Ish. Now, Agni means fire and Ish means?
The Lord.
Lord. Okay.
So then Agnisha means the Lord of fire.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else? You can ask also about the content. It doesn't have to be just about the Sanskrit grammar. You can ask anything interesting, whatever occurs to you. You can also write it here if you like in the chat.
Acharya ji, namaste. Mahalakshmi here. Can I ask like generic doubt which I just had because I was thinking about it yesterday. So we see that Lord Shiva is very dressed in a different manner compared to other gods. He is a god of meditation. That is, meditation is all about peace and ahimsa and everything, isn't it? So why does he wear the tiger skin? I didn't, because to get the tiger skin, it has to be like even though if the animal has passed away and then it has been used, what does this depict?
So it is the garb of the siddhas. It is the dress of a siddha, of a yogi. In ancient India, the yogis had a very particular way of dressing and moving about. However, Mahalakshmiji, this is just an outer description. When I say it is the dress of the siddhas, that's sort of deferring the question, right? That's like saying, yes, that's just how they dress, right? That's really not an explanation. The explanation is this, my dear. The tiger is the mind that is restless and full of anger. Because if you look at a tiger, it is, right, the teeth of the tiger, they're always flashing. And the tiger conquers others. It is the most powerful animal. It rips the other animals apart for its food. No one can attack the tiger. Similarly, a mind that is violent, a mind that is always overcoming others, is a brutal mind. And by wearing the tiger skin, the yogi shows that he has conquered that mind. It means Shiva has conquered the mind of violence, the mind of aggression, the mind of power. He has conquered that. And he's wearing it as a skirt. Really, he's wearing it as a dress. That is the symbolism of it. You understand? So you are right that one can say in a vegan society, is it really nice for Shiva to wear that dress of a tiger died? But the lifespan of tigers is only 7 years. So in ancient India, there were hundreds of thousands of tigers around, not like today when tigers have been ruined, right? There are barely, I think, 1,000 tigers left in India. But in ancient times, there were hundreds of thousands or more tigers. So obviously, there were a lot of tiger skins and not that many yogis. And it was only the privilege of a yogi to wear a tiger skin. And in ancient India, people were very honest and genuine. So in ancient India, if you were sort of like a lazy person who was just watching Netflix all the time, you did not have the right to wear a tiger skin, and you wouldn't do it. Yeah. So when you saw someone wearing a tiger skin, you knew this is a yogi, right? And then you knew that this is a person you can learn from. So that is what Shiva embodies. He shows this is the dress code of the yogis, of those who meditate and who become enlightened. This is our dress code. If I have achieved that, I will wear a tiger skin. If I haven't achieved it, or I'm just on the path, I will maybe not wear a tiger skin. I will wear a skin of bark. This is what the others used to wear. Those who didn't achieve it yet were wearing bark. Yes. So, for instance, Bhiren in ancient India would be wearing a skirt of bark, right? So why not, right? It's a nice dress code. Whereas, for instance, Bapu Shri would wear a tiger skin in ancient India. That is simply the dress code. And I think it's something remarkable, no? That only those who really achieved it had the right to wear it. It's beautiful, but it's not something against veganism. Clearly, nobody was going around killing tigers to get the skin for the yogis to wear. That would be a little crazy. So you would just take the skins that were available. Is that an explanation, Mahalakshmiji?
That's a beautiful explanation, actually, because I mean, I was looking for it and I was like hearing different explanations from others, but this is the best which has given me peace, actually. The conqueror of the mind, which is, as you said, and I think the choice of your words was so good and so beautiful. describing the present human mind. So I'm very happy. I'm very, very much happy with it. Thank you so much.
And without saying anything politically incorrect, in the future, maybe the dress code will become that the yogis who have conquered their aggressive mind can wear a skirt with, you know, Trump's picture on it, right? So this is just a joke, right? With Donald Trump's picture, because he is someone who embodies anger and, right? So if you have conquered that, you wear it as a dress, right? It's the same principle, yes? It's just a joke, okay? Please don't sue us. So then someone asks, is Sanskrit the only language where single letters have meanings and that too multiple? Very good question. No. There is one other language I studied called Hebrew. And in Hebrew, the individual letters also have meanings, exactly like in Sanskrit. And I always think this is one of the reasons why Hebrew is also considered a sacred language and has given rise to a world civilization. This is one of my theories because there is an inherent sacred power in the Hebrew language, like in the Sanskrit language. And there are a lot of parallels in how these languages developed systems of energy. So the Hebrew tradition has a system called Kabbalah. And in the Kabbalah system, they also have very similar things which we have in yoga, where different places in the body, in the subtle body, are linked with different syllables and have different energetic effects, all these things. This also exists in the Kabbalah, but the rule is you can only study the deeper secret texts of the Kabbalah when you have had a successful family life and when you have crossed the age of 50. If your life has been a mess, they don't let you study that. It's very interesting. So you have to have had a successful life, and then you gain access into the deeper mysteries of these different meanings of the Kabbalah. Hebrew language is very interesting to study. So unfortunately, I could only study it from the outside for two reasons. First of all, I am not yet 50, even though I look it. Secondly, I don't have a successful life. And thirdly, I am not Jewish, right? So you can pick any one of these explanations. That's why I can't read the deeper texts. Then someone asks, Shiva also wears to show that one day the skin of the tiger is stating that if you come to me, I will take you in whatever form, including a snake or a skin or the moon. It's an interesting explanation. Yes, we could say that even if your mind is like a tiger or your character is like that of a snake, you will still make it to Shiva, right? If you meditate, if you practice sadhana, meditation upon absolute consciousness, no matter how your character is, you will make it to Shiva. Thank you for this suggestion. And then our time is almost up.
Acharya-ji, just one more thing, I mean, because we touched that, the second definition also.
Yes.
Can you also tell me, like, you know, the Shiva's love for the vibhuti, the ashes, which he takes from the graveyard, which we say that, the smashana. Can you tell me the deeper meaning of it?
Not the graveyard, my dear, the cremation ground. A graveyard is what you have in London. You have graveyards in London. We don't have graveyards in ancient India. Yes, so, but the meaning is so beautiful. All of existence, the whole universe, your individual life, the elements which your body is made up of, earth, fire, water, air, space, all the elements of nature are constantly in a process of perishing. And at the end of existence, everything is turned to ashes, isn't it? Everything ends in ashes, symbolically. The whole universe, even if it takes another 8 billion years, it will be gone. And you, Mahalakshmiji, I'm sorry to tell you, you will be gone sooner than that, right? So, and all of you also, not just Mahalakshmiji. Everyone will be gone sooner or later, except maybe me, I have been told, but I don't know if it's true. I'm just joking. So all that is represented by bhasma, by the ashes. And Shiva, he wears those ashes proudly on his body. The ashes of everything that ever existed are worn by Shiva on his body. So he is the absolute consciousness, and within absolute consciousness, all these experiences of universes, worlds, planets, galaxies, individual beings like you and me, Mahalakshmiji, Devikaji, Yukaji, Trusharji, all these people, they arise within absolute consciousness. They arise, and then sooner or later, they also become ashes. And Shiva wears all that on his body. So this is the famous mantra, Om Agniriti Bhasma, Vayuriti Bhasma, Jalamiti Bhasma, Vyometi Bhasma, Sarvagung Hava Idam Bhasmam, Om Namah Shivaya, which means Agni, fire. You just learned this word, Agni. Fire is ashes. Water, Jalam, is ashes. Earth is ashes. Air is ashes. Space is ashes. Sarvam idam bhasma. All this is ashes. Whatever you see will end up in ashes. Om Namah Shivaya, which you learned last time, obeisance, homage to Shiva, the absolute consciousness, which is always peaceful, always blissful, always full of benefit for others. Hitartham, it is always for the benefit of others. It doesn't look at its own benefit only the benefit of others. That means Om Namah Shivaya, and that is the symbolism of Shiva wearing the ashes on his body. Yes, madam, is that all right for you?
Yes, that is again a very beautiful meaning. And I'm feeling somehow that is it also talking about the oneness, that wherever, from the point everything started, everything is going back into that point, no matter whatever it is.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And everyone is the same, you see. So Jamin can turn into a billionaire, and Tusharji can remain, sort of normal human being, but then they both end in ashes, and they will end up in the absolute consciousness. Exactly, madam. Absolutely. Anandat sarvani bhutani jayante. All beings emerge from absolute bliss. Anandena jatani jivanti. And they live through that absolute bliss. Anandam prayanti. They're moving towards that absolute bliss. Anandam pravishanti. And they enter the absolute bliss. So everyone is coming from the same source of absolute consciousness, is moving towards the same source. Therefore, everyone is one. There is no separation. No one is better or higher or lower than the other. Yes. And last point, we are way over time. Please always remember, we are not making up these meanings, because sometimes on Facebook and in the internet, you see people who are making up the meanings. And I am guaranteeing to you, with a guarantee, you will get a refund if I am making up the meanings. We're not making up meanings. This is the ancient Hindu tradition of Sanskrit scholarship, which is very clearly defined and clearly defines these meanings, all right? So please have that confidence in us. I'm not making up any meanings. You can rely on these meanings. Only one point, then we will finish.
Oh.
There are always more meanings than the ones I'm telling you here, because we only have this 1 hour. Sanskrit is so rich that there are always at least 40 to 50 meanings, all right? And what I'm doing here is I'm giving you 5 to 6 and sometimes only 1 or 2. Yes, so please always remember that. Let us finish here. If you have more questions, then you can send them to the WhatsApp group or the Facebook groups. Whatever we have studied today, the sandhis, I will send them to you. Yes? Namaste. Thank you, everybody. And see you in 2 weeks, I think.